Well, it was seems a significant move towards reinforcing democratic principles and ensuring genuine representation at the grassroots. President Tinubu, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi, as well as the National Assembly leadership, have collectively called out state governors for their manipulation of local government councils. The federal government last week dragged the 36 state governors before the Supreme Court, seeking the enforcement of full autonomy of local governments in Nigeria. Among the injunctions, the federal government is urging the Apex Court to issue an order prohibiting state governors from embarking on what they call unilateral, arbitrary, and unlawful dissolution of democratically elected local government chairmen, as well as constituting caretaker committees in their place. In the suit predicated on 27 grounds, the federal government accused the state governors of gross misconduct and abuse of power. For more on the autonomy of local governments, I'm joined by former local government chairman of Karu Local Government Area, Nasarawa State, Samuel Akala Gajere. Mr. Gajere, thank you for joining us on the program this evening. Let's begin with what you make of this move by the federal government as a former local government chairman.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I think the latest move by the federal government concerning the freedom, or otherwise called the autonomy of the local government, it is the greatest thing that would happen to this nation. For me, as a former local government chairman, if Mr. President will achieve this alone in his first term, I think he would have unlocked the development that Nigerians have been yearning for. Because the third tier of government, just like I always said, has been caged, has been strangulated, cannot breathe at the moment. And as long as the third tier of government is on freedom, the third tier of government cannot function effectively for the purpose for which it was created. Therefore, the suit that is instituted by the Attorney General of the Federation, it is in line with the yearnings of Nigerians. It is needless for the states to join issues on that suit. I think if I would be allowed to advise state governors, is to please allow that matter to stay. Let's just adhere to the provisions of the Constitution.
So, in addition to being a former local government chairman, you were also special advisor to the Nasarawa State Governor, I think on urban development. So you've experienced life on both sides. Why do you think it's difficult for governors to hands off local government funds and administration?
Well, I think the answer to this has been political. The governors want to take charge of the third tier of government. And Nigerians are aware that Mr. President does not tamper with the affairs of state government. Mr. President does not decide what the funds of the state will be used for. Mr. President does not decide who becomes the governor or member of the State House of Assembly. So it is rather unfortunate that the governors leveraging on the provision, you see, the governor do not just take over the affairs of the local government. They leveraged on the provision of the Constitution, which gave rise to the assembly to make laws for the administration and the finances of the local government. And that is why the governors will make use of the assembly to make laws to provide for caretaker committees, provide for either sole administrators, name it, and also reduce the term of the local government that has been provided by the Constitution 3 years to some states 1 year. In some cases, some governors will serve their term for 8 years without conducting a single local government election. Classically, like in Anambra the other time, during Peter Obi, he never conducted any local government election throughout the 8 years that he was governor. So they changed this caretaker committee at their whims and caprices in clear flagrant disregard to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Therefore, they held on. The major reason why they hold on to it is for political reasons. One, they appoint their associates, their friends, their family members to man the affairs of the local government so that they can be in charge of the funds of the local government. You are aware that bulk of the funds of the federation goes to 36 states of the federation and 774 local government. But nobody knows what happens to the funds accruing to 774 local government councils in Nigeria. So
I hear you,
why the states have been holding on to the local government is to achieve political purposes and nothing else.
A lot have been said about the unlawful practice of appointing loyalists or stooges to local government positions by state. And by the way, it's not just limited to Peter Obi that you have mentioned. It is the reality across all the parties and with many governors in Nigeria. But do you think elections have significantly changed that over the years? Because what we've seen is that even when elections hold, it is still an appendage of the state governor who has the capacity to put those who are loyal to him in those offices.
I think for me, there isn't any perfect election anywhere. Of course, just like you have said, even states that claim to have conducted election into local government, the party that the governor spearheads wins everything. When I mean everything, wins all the local government seats and wins all the councillorship seats, just like it happened recently in Edo State. You are aware. But it is better most times because as it is at the moment, the local government, even the current constitution, does not guarantee local government autonomy. But the constitution guarantees successive elective officials at the local government council. The constitution does not in any way provide for any caretaker committee or any appointee, whatever name you want to call it. The constitution guarantees successive elective position. So the worst the state governors can do at the moment is to ensure that even the skilled elections, let them hold. Let the local government be managed by elective officers, not caretaker committees and whatever you call it. So at this point, even if the...
Some have said that the laws governing local government elections should be amended to ensure that these elections are conducted by INEC rather than state electoral authorities. How do you react to that?
Yes, of course. That is the solution to the freedom of the local government. We have been clamoring for local government autonomy. Each time the National Assembly will pass local government autonomy, it doesn't get concurrence from the state houses of assembly. You are aware that the houses of assembly must give concurrence by passing the local government autonomy. But unfortunately, over the years, each time this matter comes up, each time the National Assembly passes this law, the Assembly will deny passage of the autonomy. And that is why, even in some cases, the state houses of assembly even deny themselves financial autonomy by refusing to pass their own autonomy. I am not surprised because most of them, because the governors are in charge of the party in their various states, they decide who gets the ticket of the party to win election into the state assembly. But of course, amending the constitution is the final solution to the freedom of the local government councils in Nigeria.
It's all right. The assumption has also been that if the funds meant for local government are directly channeled to them, that governors will be better at the grassroots. I guess we'll have to wait to see how all of that will play out if this flies in the coming days. Also bearing in mind that INEC has its own issues at the national level and whether or not having it conducting local government elections is the way forward. But that's our time. I've been speaking with former local government chairman, Karu local government area in Nasarawa State. Thank you so much, Mr. Kajiru, for talking to us on the program.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.